Hey everybody, I hope you're doing awesome. It's been a while, but welcome back to another edition of What's for Dinner. It's about 5:45 on Tuesday. Teresa and I just got back late last night from San Diego, Low Carb USA. You can see she's representing in that shirt. For those of you guys who might be interested in low carb or ketogenic or carnivore ways of eating, I would highly recommend Low Carb USA. And I would also recommend the SMHP. It's the Society for Metabolic Health Practitioners, especially if you're a practitioner. Two fantastic organizations. They're super supportive, and there's just a lot of great people that are in that space. So just want to remind you guys, the disclaimer is that anything you hear tonight is just purely for educational purposes. Don't consider anything you hear medical advice. We're only here to educate and to entertain you guys. So if you have a question, go ask your provider. Now you can ask us, but again, it's all we can do is give you guys examples of things that we would do or we would recommend for ourselves. If you guys decide to follow along, great. Anyway, let's start off tonight. We did our usual burgers, but there's a different spin on it tonight. So we are doing these, just so you know, these burgers are grass-fed, grain-finished. We bought these from some friends, so they've got a little bit of fat in them. They're delicious, though. So we have is this American cheese you got on here, hon?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one of them with American cheese for Teresa, and then mine have the baby Swiss. But what we did is we started off with the burgers, and we put them in a bowl, and we put some goodies in them. So what did you put in tonight, hon?
I put a few tablespoons of sour cream, shredded cheese, pats of butter, and then we also melted butter and poured them in there.
Yep, and that was all with just about a pound and a half of ground beef in a bowl, and I just kneaded it by hand, and then I formed it into basically little balls, and then put them in a burger press and just pressed them out flat. And then we had one little bit of meat left over. That's why there's that little small baby hamburger on the right. So anyway, so we're excited to try that. That should be really good. And then Teresa did bacon in our air fryer as usual, the Instant Vortex Pro, and we got our eggs. And then she made me a little treat tonight, and I'm super excited for this. What are these, hon?
They're just the ultra thin Sargento's cheddar cheese slices, and I just cut them in quarters and put a pepperoni on top and broiled them or baked them. And then I saw some other people doing it, and they put whipped cream and everything bagel seasoning on some. So we'll just try.
Yeah, gonna play around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
I see we have some also some Rao's marinara sauce out, and we'll use that for dipping tonight. So we use Rao's because it tends to be a little bit lower sugar, and yeah, it actually tastes really good. So we like the Rao's. And we got some pickles back there for those of you guys who like pickles. All right, so what do you want to talk about tonight?
So a couple things. So number one, I'm fasting right now. I'm fasting for 2 days. So I last ate on Sunday after our conference, and this just shows you the flexibility that you have on this way of eating. We left the hotel Sunday morning at around 9:30 to go to San Diego. Then we had a layover at Dallas and got home last night. Didn't get home till about 10:30. So I'm not hungry in the morning. And then I just thought, what am I going to get in an airport? And then, you never know if your plane's going to be late and if you have time. So I just decided I'm going to fast. And then, wait, is that right? Yeah. Sunday night we ate, Monday we came home. And then I've gone without eating. I did drink pickle juice. I took pickle juice to the office and had about probably a cup worth of that, which tastes so delicious when you're fasting. But anyway, so I'm going to eat tonight.
Can I interject? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
I was going to interject. And so the pickle juice, guys, she's using for the electrolytes. You'll find that when you do this way of eating, when you get fat adapted, or at least you're getting into ketosis, you'll get really, you can start tasting the funny taste in your mouth, and it's the ketones. And but anyway, you find that you crave electrolytes.
Yeah.
So
and that first sip of pickle juice is so salty, and oh my gosh, it just is good.
And I want to say one more thing on this.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry I hijacked your little spiel you had going on there, but no. So the reason why Teresa and myself we can fast for long periods of time, guys, is because we are fat adapted. Our body is adapted to using fat for fuel, not sugar and carbohydrates. So our sugars can drop to extremely low levels without us feeling that crash or feeling like we're hypoglycemic, meaning super low blood sugar. That's that terrible feeling you get.
Yeah.
There are studies that, in fact, we talked about them this weekend, or some of the presenters talked about them, where they had a cancer study going on, and they had people fast for 40 days, 40, just like Jesus did, right? So they fasted for 40 days, and their blood sugar dropped to an astounding 18. That's 18. What was it?
I think it's deciliter per
milligrams per deciliter of sugar. That was the measurement they used. But they weren't done with it then. Then they gave those people a big bolus, meaning they gave them a bunch of insulin. Then their blood sugar dropped to 9 after 40 days of fasting. Most people, guys, that would kill you. But these people were fat adapted and they had absolutely no issues whatsoever, completely asymptomatic. Just to show you the power of fat adaptation. Okay.
So 2 things that happen to me every time I fast. And so this is the first time, this is the second one in the summer, but always the first day I'm cold. So last night, going into the first night, I was cold in bed. I had to turn my chili pad up, the heat on. And then today at the office, I even wore a long sleeve, but I was shivering in the grocery store and at the office. So even in the summer, you're still cold. It's a little bit hard for me to fall asleep the first night. And then this morning at my 10 o'clock patient, I started at 9, my stomach growled really loud. And I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm fasting for 2 days. But all I needed, or my body needed, was about 20 minutes to figure out I wasn't gonna feed it. And then it goes and nibbles wherever it wants to, not where you want it to, but, and then it never growled again until, and even now, I could go a little bit longer, but I mean, stuff does look good, so.
When you're hungry, your body's going to eat whether you like it or not, and there's plenty of fat to tap into for most of
Hey.
us. So. Oh, I'm not saying you, I'm saying most of us.
Yeah. So anyway, this conference was amazing. Presenters were people like Dr. Eric Berg, Dr. Anthony Chafee, Dr. Brian Linskus, Dr. Rob Seifus.
Matt.
Dr. Matt Phillips,
Matt Phillips,
the boys' friend.
Yeah.
I mean, just so many. I know I'm leaving somebody out, but the first day was dedicated to psychiatry. So Georgia Ede was there. She just wrote a book, Change Your Diet, or Change Your Food, Change Your Mind. The ketogenic diet in a lot of different disease states is overwhelming. There was a woman with schizophrenia and a bipolar that we heard their story, and I will go find out the name so I can put it on there for you guys. But anyway, my point is that Mark has to say this, he calls it housekeeping, that we're here for entertainment purposes. But after every speaker, you can go up and ask questions to a microphone. Every single physician or nurse practitioner or PA that walked up there said the same thing. I didn't learn this in medical school, and here's my question, okay? And then in the hallway, I was walking past, and there was a doctor, I didn't know him, but he was talking to a few other providers, and I heard him go, "How the hell can we change this damn healthcare system?" Louder than me, because my voice doesn't work like that. I mean, people are mad. We're mad, but I have to tell you to go ask your physician or your provider for the advice you want, but they don't, instead of them saying, I didn't learn that, they're going to tell you something erroneous.
These medical providers that come to these conferences to learn, they're like little kids in a candy store. They come to, it's almost like they're back in school again, and they're so eager to learn.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so giddy there, learning from these incredibly influential and intelligent speakers that get up here and talk about. These people are absolute pioneers in their field. They're speaking at these, like Matt, the guy we mentioned earlier, Matt Phillips. He was talking about, ketogenic diet for neurodegenerative diseases like ALS, Parkinson's, Huntington's, those kind of things. And it was just fantastic, the talk he had, and there's a lot of potential. Now he's still working on some studies, so he might not even be back next year. It might be 2 years because he won't have the results of the studies until then.
Yeah, he's the one with the longest living
glioblastoma
patient.
Yep.
She's still living. I asked him. 8 years now.
8 years.
That's unheard of.
She was supposed to be dead in how long?
Well, probably like 7 months,
Yeah.
but I mean, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But these people are so down to earth. Dr. Matt, he seeks the boys out every year and wants to know what they're doing, where they're at, how's school going, what's next.
Yeah.
They just chit chat constantly. We sat across from Dr. Berg the last night, Eric Berg, and just chit chatted. And this Dr. Dimitri, who was new from either Greece or Italy, but
he was in both. He has a practice in both Greece and Italy, and he's a research scientist and an MD. Had some awesome information there talking about micronutrients and whatnot. And,
it's fascinating.
Yeah.
But all I'm trying to tell you is the things we're talking about you here and those people I just listed in the spaces, don't learn it in school. You have to go outside your training and spend money. We had to spend money for a conference, hotel, like we made a family vacation, but I'm just saying it costs extra money. And when you're seeing 19 to 28 patients a day and you don't have time for anything else, it's hard.
Yeah.
So
totally.
I usually leave those things inspired, but I left this time, the whole time I was frustrated. I was just really frustrated. And I'm just like, how can we help people understand? And I have this diabetic patient and now her A1C is the worst ever at 9. Her liver enzymes are at 90 and 70. I already got an ultrasound on her liver. It's fatty liver. Her fasting glucose is 200 and something. She's just a ticking time bomb. And I'm just like, sometimes how can I reach people? How can we reach providers?
Well, you left frustrated, but we also did leave inspired. We got a lot of really good information. We're going to be taking this information. We're going to be sharing a lot of it with you guys.
Yeah.
So we got some inspiration for some fun what's for dinners, and we'll be putting more of that out there. And yeah, so are you good, hon?
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's good. We're at about 10 minutes. So,
Okay.
All right, guys, tell us what you're having for dinner. If you have any questions, shoot them our way. And we love you all, and we'll see you next time. God bless you. Bye.